On today's episode, Trevor Cichosz won World's Toughest Mudder 2019 and then donated his entire winnings to this charity, Giving Smiles.
This is the World's Toughest Podcast. Welcome to the World's Toughest Podcast, where we talk about any obstacle course race you'd like, as long as that's World's Toughest Mudder. Each week we talk to members of the WTM community and share stories of success and failure in the single greatest event in OCR. My name is Will Hicks, and this is the World's Toughest Podcast.
Welcome back to World's Toughest Podcast. Thank you for listening. You're listening to the number one rated obstacle course racing podcast in the world. Because of listeners like you, thank you for leaving a review. You can follow us on social media by searching for World's Toughest Podcast. You can text me at 619-485-2726 to get a heads up on new episodes and to have access straight to my phone. True story. Shoot me a text right now and I will answer you. Ask me something about wetsuits or race nutrition or who was the second place woman at Toughest Mudder Whistler in 2017. 619-485-2726. I have enjoyed the last couple weeks texting listeners and just saying, hey, I talked with Dan Rappaport and Kevin Chow yesterday. Addy Alvarez today. Do you want to shout out on the show? Shoot me a text. Let's talk some news. Is Battle Frog coming back? Maybe. Matt over at ORM says he found a link online and talked with the two people that originally started Battle Frog. And they're planning 2 races in 2021, April and September in Florida. And if that happens, it is great news. I don't know if it'll happen or not. I hope it does. They are saying registration will open in December of 2020. This actually triggers a few thoughts, though. When we as a society have finally moved past COVID, people are going to want to go out. We are social animals. We need our bodies and our brains and our souls need that physical connection to be around and to be close to other people. When we look back on all this, I am convinced that the death toll from suicide and domestic violence and child abuse and all the mental damage of lockouts and social isolation, all that number will be higher, comparable, if not higher, than the actual death toll from the virus itself. I am convinced people need to be with other people. So when this is all over, nightclubs will be packed, bars and restaurants will be packed, concerts will be packed. And I think there will be a 2012, 2013 level of resurgence in the OCR industry, in the OCR space. Back then, there were races every weekend you could go to. People will want to be out with their friends, doing fun things in nature, getting muddy, and having stories to tell each other. It seems like forever ago, but Spartan took a big risk buying Tough Mudder in February of this year. And then immediately, right after COVID hits, they could not have had worse timing. I sincerely hope Spartan and Tough Mudder and everyone else, Savage, Conquer the Gauntlet, Battle Frog 2.0, not Terrain Race, Rugged Maniac, I hope they benefit from the post-COVID surge. So watch for it. 2021 and 2022 could be huge for OCR. We are doing a World's Toughest Mudder Memories episode soon. I would like you, yes, you, to be a part of it. Record yourself on your memo app on your phone with your name and where you're from, and share your top memory or top 2 memories from World's Toughest Mudder. Try to keep it about 1 minute long. Email the file to willhicks@gmail.com, and we will include it on a future episode. It can be from running, from working pit crew, volunteering, whatever. I have a small stack of submissions already. Thank you to you guys who've already sent them in. I would like 3 or 4 more. So voice memo app, email to willhicks@gmail.com. I have a very sensitive microphone. You want to play a quick game? It's called Back or Chair. I think Chicago and Back or Chair. One more time. I think Chicago and you'll never know. If you would like to be involved with a podcast without all the work of actually making a podcast, here are a few ways you can be involved. 1, email me your World's Toughest Mudder memories. Just talked about that. 2, leave a review for the show. Open the Purple Podcast app on your iOS device, or search for World's Toughest Podcast on Amazon, or go to lovethepodcast.com/tough. 3, you can get OCR Report and World's Toughest Mudder swag. Go to the OCRreport.threadless.com and get all the World's Toughest Podcast shirts your heart could desire. If you have designing skill and want to help me with a couple t-shirt ideas, let me know. willhicks@gmail. Or text me, 619-485-2726. I'll give you a sneak preview on future guests before anyone else in the world knows. We don't have a Patreon. Not really my jam, at least right now. But if you want the insider experience, that's the way to get it. Text me, 619-485-2726. For example, I just texted my text group about this episode and let them know it's coming out tonight or tomorrow morning. And to keep an eye out. Savage Race held their fall Florida race this past weekend. I don't think we give Savage enough credit for figuring out a way to do live races with everything else that's going on. It makes me optimistic that we as an industry, that's a pretty big royal we there, will have this figured out for 2021. There is one more Savage scheduled for this year on December 5th. If you are anywhere near Charlotte, North Carolina, you should be at that Savage race. For more information, go to savagerace.com. For those of you watching the calendar, here are some dates to circle. January 23rd. January 23rd is the first Spartan race of the year in Southern California. I live in California, and most of the state is very restrictive right now on what you can do. So I'm hopeful this race happens, but if it does not, February 13th, that is the next scheduled Spartan race of the year in Arizona. This race is definitely going to happen on February 13th. There are entire youth sports leagues from Southern California that Saturday morning, they drive across the border into Arizona, they play their tournaments for the weekend, and then they drive home back to California. This race is definitely happening in Arizona, February 13th. April 10th and 11th, the first Tough Mudder and the first Toughest Mudder of the year, again, in Southern California. I think we'll have a handle on stuff by then. If you want to run the 12-hour Toughest Mudder here at this venue, Tejon Ranch, you should buy your ticket early, like now, toughmudder.com. People will want to get out. This will be a big race weekend, April 10th and 11th. The other main big dates we have for 2021 are in the fall and the winter. OCRWC will be in Vermont this year on September 23rd through 26th. World's Toughest Mudder will be in Laughlin, Nevada on November 13th and 14th. And the Spartan Race World Championship will be in Abu Dhabi on December 3rd and 4th. So 2021 will be great. We're going to talk with my leading rival in a few minutes. Sometimes people ask me, Will, who's your competition? And I've talked about this before. As a guy with an OCR podcast, I'm not competing with other OCR podcasts. I'm competing with all the other podcasts. I'm competing with All Things Considered and Serial and My Favorite Murder. But I'm not just competing with other podcasts. I'm competing with every audiobook ever recorded and every piece of music ever composed. I'm competing with Harry Potter and Sherlock Holmes and the Beatles and Ed Sheeran. Other podcasts are easy. Competing with Ariana Grande is hard. But I don't pay attention to that. My actual rival isn't in the audio space. It's in the running space. Trevor Cichosz and I have had a brutal rivalry ever since I beat him at Toughest Mudder Berlin in 2018. He had just run 214 miles in Scotland a few days earlier, but he would not miss this competition. And I was on the other side of the world in the United States, and I wouldn't miss it either. Hundreds of Berliners came out to see the race between Trevor and I while they also raced Toughest Mudder Berlin. And I'm not saying it was the race of the century, but I'm not saying that. I dominated Trevor that night, 15 miles to 10. He got me back at World's Toughest Mudder that year, narrowly beating me 100 miles to 35. And it's been back and forth ever since. So we talk nice when the microphone is on, but once we're on course, it can get pretty ugly. Let's read some iTunes reviews.
5 stars.
5 stars.
5 stars.
5 stars.
5 stars.
5 stars.
5 stars. 5 stars.
Just to give you an idea of my competition, reviewing Ariana Grande's new album, Positions, Bunder9777 writes, 5 stars. It gets better and better the more you listen to it. Well, first of all, Bunder9777, what did Caps Lock ever do to you? When someone says it gets better the more you listen to it, it's like those videos with the caption where they're like, wait for it, wait for it. When I see wait for it, all I can think is the first part sucks. It's like when someone is recommending a TV show to you and they say, the first 3 seasons are pretty bad, but then it gets great. Yeah, no thanks. Ain't nobody got time for that.
Ain't nobody got time for that.
Panda1317 disagrees with Bunder9777. Panda1317 writes, thank you, next part 2. 1 star. This album, IDK what to say, TBH. I expected so much from her, but honey, what is this? It's full of ringtones. LMAOO. No, but seriously, this album is a skip. The only song I liked is My Hair. I came to the conclusion that she can't make a masterpiece like Dangerous Woman ever again. It's sad, BCS, she has an amazing voice, but she doesn't use it in the right way. Well, sorry about that, Panda1317. I came to the conclusion that she can't make a masterpiece ever again. It's sad because she has an amazing voice, but she doesn't use it the right way. This is devastating news that the 27-year-old multi-platinum selling recording artist is washed up. If the internationally acclaimed superstar would only listen to Panda1317 to learn how to use her voice in the right way, she might be able to salvage some scrap of her career. Ariana, you can send your thank you notes to attention Panda1317 If you would like to be a part of the show, you can leave a review on Apple Podcasts also. Open the purple podcast button on your iPhone or iOS device, search for World's Toughest Podcast, click our logo, and then scroll down to click Write a Review. And I will read it on a future episode. If you are not an Apple fan, you can go to lovethepodcast.com/tough or go to amazon.com, search for World's Toughest Podcast. Trevor Cichosz has 660 lifetime miles from 7 appearances at World's Toughest Mudder. That is an average of 94 miles per WTM. He has finished on the podium 6 of his 7 appearances at the race, including 2 first places, 2 second places, and 2 third places. He has earned the coveted Tough Mudder Orange Jacket 3 times for finishing with 100 miles or more. In 2018, he won the inaugural Ultra Great Britain by running 214 miles across the entire nation of Scotland. He is one of the greatest athletes in endurance OCR today, and he appears today to support his favorite charity, Giving Smiles. You can find out more about Giving Smiles at givingsmiles2020.com. We are honored to welcome Trevor Cichosz to the show. Let's go to the phones. Trevor Cichosz is a 2-time champion of World's Toughest Mudder and is one of only 4 men to run 105 miles at the race. Very proud to welcome to the show, Trevor Cichosz. Welcome back.
Hi, thanks for having me. It's kind of weird here. I've talked to anyone for a while. So.
Trevor, I want to talk to you about this charity you're working with, Giving Smiles, in a minute. But first, I want to kind of catch up and see what you've been up to lately. I saw you ran virtual World's Toughest Mudder this weekend.
Yeah, I mean, it was really fun. I wish I could have done more, but I got a lot of big things happen this week, so I spent the weekend studying and preparing for those. So I'd run a lap, and then I'd go study for an hour and a half and go run another lap, and just kind of winging it.
This is the first year since 2012 you have not run World's Toughest Mudder, like for real. What was it like to kind of have an open weekend or a vacant weekend this year?
Yeah, it's kind of weird. Usually, mid-September I'm starting to prepare, and then October is just craziness. I'm just running big runs every weekend and training, 3-4 hours a day. But I mean, this whole last month and a half, since May, I haven't done a long run really. So I've just been running 30 minutes here and there. So I've been busy working.
That's true. It's not just the 24 hours of the race. It affects your whole schedule for kind of the back half, the back quarter of the year when the race is on.
Yeah. Yeah, it really does become your priority. But this year, it's work and life become my priority. So kind of just focusing on things that I need to do. On that resume,
How's that resume looking these days?
Great. Getting all these certifications and licenses. I've been studying and taking all these tests and just building a business, expanding it. It's like my whole baby right now. It's a garden I'm growing. So I've basically been taking on business head on. Like I work, probably 16 hours a day. That's all I do. So, but it's fun. I'm engaged and I'm 100% into it.
Talk about your business. What do you do?
I install security systems, wireless ones, with cameras and proactive video monitoring from remote location on construction sites in sensitive areas in Seattle, which is a pretty kinetic area right now. So business is really good. I mean, I've probably done 5 new installs. I got over 100 cameras all over the city. So I got to maintain all those. So that's a full-time job. That's why I'm usually working till 10 p.m.
They announced this week that World's Toughest Mudder is coming back to the desert just outside Las Vegas, Nevada. What are your thoughts on that?
That's the best thing I could ever hear. And they're bringing back the prize money. So it's like going back to the golden years of World's Toughest Mudder, which I always thought were in Vegas. Some might say it was New Jersey, but I think Vegas is the best years they had.
I never ran New Jersey, but I have fond memories of Las Vegas. I'm looking forward to being back in the area. Not on the same course, but, hopefully similar terrain.
Yeah. I don't even know where the course is. I haven't looked into it yet, but it's in Nevada, so it makes me happy.
I am going to run World's Toughest Mudder 2021. You're going to run. I don't know if you know, but you and I are tied right now, 2-2. Have you been keeping track of that?
I think, last time, you got me this time. So How many miles did you run this weekend?
I did 50. You did 10, looks like, unless maybe a lap was missed. So this started in Berlin. You and I both went to Toughest Mudder Berlin, and I ran 15 miles, and you ran 10. And now you had, like 5 days previously, you had run 214 miles across the island or the country of Scotland. But I don't want to make excuses for you. I mean, ultimately, I ran more miles.
Yeah, that's all that matters. How good you are that day, and you're better than me that day.
And then, so I was up 1-0, and then we ran later that year at World's Toughest Mudder 2018, and you ran 100 miles, and I ran 35. So now we're tied at 1-1. And then I think the next time we ran was it Toughest Vegas?
Toughest Vegas, the team race, right?
Yeah, the 12-hour one. I ran team, and I think you ran. I don't know how many miles. Do you remember how many miles you ran?
I ran less than Mendoza and Escobar. We made them run more. So. I think I did like 20.
Yeah,
25.
I think you did 25, and I did like 15. So 2-1. But then I got you this weekend at Virtual World's Toughest Mudder. So very excited to pull even again.
Yeah. I think you actually even the mileage this weekend. I actually did 15 miles, but I didn't even upload the second one because technically I didn't pass the balloon challenge. That's kind of what stalled me.
There's no way I'll ever catch you on mileage when you put up 100. Well, there's no way.
Math is never my thing. We'll call it even.
So I heard that you have a kind of a lifetime goal, mileage goal for World's Toughest Mudder.
Yeah, I want to get 1,000 miles lifetime. So there's a few years where, I got 95 and stuff. So I'm trying to do it in 10 years, but obviously missed this year. Only got 10 miles. I'm not even going to count them towards the lifetime.
Yeah,
I think I'm almost 600. So maybe 4 more years.
So I haven't added them up yet, but I have the numbers in front of me. 2013 was your first year. You did 75, which is remarkable for your first year, right? Then 2014 is when you kicked it up. 90. 2015 was 95. 2016 was your first 100-mile year. 2017, 95 again. 2018, 100, and then 2019, 105. Yeah, if you get 105, for the next 4 years, it looks like you got that 75 is kind of dragging you down. You got to get that one caught up. But yeah, that's a nice 1,000 is a nice round number.
Yeah, no, I'm feeling good about it because I stopped lifting, which means I lost a lot of weight, which means I'm faster. So, I'm looking forward to it. I'm going to keep the weight down and try to stay lean and fast.
A lot of people, when they're a lot of people make 75 miles, and then it's a big leap from 75 to 100, right? Physically, exertion, everything. You said you stopped lifting weights, and it makes you faster. How do you think that'll affect your obstacle completion, or are you worried about that?
No, not really, because there's not really any strength-based obstacles. Mostly they're just being good with your body weight, and when your body weight's lower, it's easier to manipulate it. So, I stopped lifting, but I still do body weight exercises, and I'm just as strong calisthenically than I was before. Just I don't do the heavy squats and deadlifts anymore, which those are great for building a foundation and durability, which helps you run the 100 miles, but we'll see. I did fall apart doing that 135-mile race the other weekend, but I wasn't really into it. So.
Tell me about that 135-mile race.
Yeah, so the Everest race I did in 2018? Yeah, 2018. No, 2019. I went to Nepal and ran 135 miles in the Himalayas. That organization, they put on a virtual race in October. Basically, you had a month to run 135 miles, but whoever did it reached it first and won the race. So obviously I announced I was going to do it in one day, and then some other guy in the UK, I forgot his name, I feel bad, but he said he's going to do it too. So I went out, woke up at like 10, started running at 11 a.m. and then ran until like 4 a.m. But my hip locked up and I was limping for about 8 miles. So I just called it and went to sleep for around 84 miles. And he finished it in 2 days. He did I think 75 and he did 50 or 60, whatever it was.
Sure.
So he beat me, but whatever. And like I said, I haven't trained for it. I haven't done a long run since the ultra-virus race I did in May with Matt, where I ran 85 miles or 80, I can't remember. So, I mean, I wasn't ready for it.
You say most of your upper body training now is body weight stuff. What percentage of time, like your training time, do you think is running versus exercise or body weight?
Well, I still get at least 30 minutes of running in a day, even if it's at night when I'm done with work. But I've probably been hitting the gym because it just opened the Rock Gym like a month ago, so I've been going back there probably 3 times a week. And what they do is it's reservations. They only get 2 people in each room, which is kind of nice. You get the whole gym to yourself, but there's 5 different rooms, which means I don't get to pick how I want to work out. If the weight room's open, then that's all I get. If the bouldering is open, that's all I get. So but I try to get the weight room every time, so that's where all the pull-up bars and all that stuff is.
Are they making you wear masks in the gym?
Yeah.
How's that going?
Oh, okay. I mean, I don't mind it. I just have a buff on at all times. Like, I'm using the buff method, which some places don't let you do, but they're few.
Trevor, you're working with a charity called Giving Smiles. What is Giving Smiles?
Giving Smiles is a charity that my friend from Peru, he was born and raised in Peru, came to America, joined the Army. He did the push to Iraq in 2003, and then stayed in for like 4 more years, served in Afghanistan, decorated for valor in combat. I think he got Bronze Star. He's a great guy. I met him in 2010 when I started contracting overseas with the government. He was doing it at the time, and I've known him since then. And he's been doing this charity since 2010, and every year he's put up the GoFundMe account. I've donated money to it, and so have all of our friends, and each year, I think the biggest I ever got, we had 795 kids that we fed, provided entertainment for, and gave them presents. And this is all in Chiclayo, Peru, which is kind of a poor community. So most of the kids there don't ever have a Christmas. So we put it on for them. And it's a real thing. He takes all the money, like not a single dime goes to him, and he spends it all on that. So it's a great charity. It's one I believe in because I know where the money goes. I know the people, and a lot of the people who donate actually go there and they volunteer to help hold the event, because you can imagine 800 kids, you got to have a lot of volunteers, a lot of chaperones. So, I mean, I've been trying to go every year, but I always deploy over Christmas, so I've missed it. I was going to go this year, but I don't know if the border is going to be open.
You say every penny donated goes to the kids. You've actually donated quite a few of those pennies. Last year, you donated your winnings from World's Toughest Mudder to the entire check to the charity.
Yeah, and the World's Toughest Mudder community raised $2,200. I can't remember. Quite a bit of money for the kids, so it was awesome. That was the biggest year ever. So thank you, everyone.
So up till this year, they've been providing kind of Christmas presents and a Christmas party for the kids. This year, because of COVID, they have shifted their priority. What are they doing this year for the kids?
So this year, it's for the families. All we're providing is food and essentials. So like, with the beans, flour, rice, like everything they need to survive. Because right now people are starving. They've been hit so hard there that medical facilities are overrun, crowded. People can't get care. There's no jobs. Poverty is just skyrocketed. And so now it's more of a relief effort than a charity just to, have a party. It's not a party anymore. Now it's like they're coming truckloads of food. That's what we're trying to get. With $21,000, we can feed, what is it? Sorry, I can't remember off the top of my head. Oh, yeah. The goal of $21,000, they'll provide food for 500 families. So that's the goal, to feed 500 full families. Which would be amazing.
It's 21. If you raise $21,000, you can feed 500 families. On Instagram, you said in Peru, $1 equals $3. Tell me about that.
Yeah, that's about the exchange rate. But I haven't been there since 2012. Yeah, but when I was there, $1 is about 3 times stronger there, and the prices remain the same. So it goes a lot farther. So $20 there is really like 60, or $20 here is really like $60 there. So even a small donation really helps.
People can find out more about Giving Smiles at givingsmiles2020.com. Trevor, how can people follow you on social media?
You can find me on my Instagram, which is just Trevor Cichosz, my name, and then Facebook, Trevor Cichosz, and also that website, grandpounder.org, which I haven't really been following up with. But anyways, yeah, Instagram's best, Facebook's second.
And how do you spell Cichosz?
Cichosz. Z as in Zulu. That's a hard one. It's Polish.
Trevor, any last thoughts on World's Toughest Mudder or Giving Smiles?
I hope we hit our goal. I'm pretty confident we are. Just got to raise awareness and share the link. If you donate, please share. And I miss everyone. I can't wait to race again. So I'm really looking forward to next year. I hope they have a toughest series. I'm not sure if they've announced that yet.
They have, actually, yeah. 3 races. L.A., I think Chicago, and Pennsylvania, Philly.
Oh, nice. We'll see. Then maybe I'll see you guys sooner. I really haven't been following the industry. I kind of just pop smoke and I'm busy doing other things, so I haven't been following that.
Yeah, if you're going to miss a year, if you're going to like opt out for a year, this is probably the year to do it.
Yeah, kind of nice reset. But yeah, I'm ready to just burst off and do something big. So, yeah, I've been just working too much in the city. I need a big mountain adventure or something, or a race.
This has just been a year, man. Like, just the whole thing. This is not, I mean, this is like kind of off topic, but man, like up where you're doing, that's the place to be in the security business right now.
Oh, yeah. Yep. Yeah, it's crazy, so.
Trevor Cichosz, thanks much.
Yep, thanks for having me.
Special thanks to Trevor Cichosz for appearing on today's episode. Well done, Trevor. Come back anytime. Go to givingsmiles2020.com and donate $20. Text me a screenshot of your donation, and I will send you a black, extra soft World's Toughest Podcast t-shirt. Offer expires December 1st, 2020. Text me at 619-485-2726. We'll work it out. Leave us a review on Apple Podcasts. I will talk with you soon. Go spend time with someone you love. I think Chicago and